This is the Roulette Master, and I cannot wait to introduce you an unbelievable new roulette system from Todd Hoover. This is called the Collection Roulette System, and today we're going to put his incredible new system in a head-to-head matchup with one of the best systems out there, Kentucky White's Moving Corners, in a head-to-head matchup. And let's get started with that first, and I can't wait to see which one of these systems makes the most money in 15 minutes. This is going to be exciting, and let's get started. So we're going to start with Kentucky White's Moving Corners first. We're going to start with 2 corners, and you can put them wherever you want and spin. They're $5 each to start. That's a $10 bet, and 8 numbers are covered, and that's a 5 red. And what a great start. $35 win right out of the gate, and then we'll pick 2 other corners to place the next bet, and you can put them wherever you want, and let's spin. All right, here we go. Let's see what we get on this one. And that's a 15 black. That's a loss. So all we're going to do is add 1 more corner, and we're not going to do anything else to the other bets. We're just going to add another corner and spin. Now we have a $15 bet out there, and now we have 12 numbers covered. So that's a 29 black. Look at that. That's a $30 win. We're up $55 already. All right, let's pick 2 corners again. You can move them around wherever you want again, and that's why it's called Moving Corners. And this is a great roulette system. And actually, one of the favorites that a lot of my friends have, a lot of them, this is their favorite one. And let's go ahead and add 1 more here and spin. Now we have 12 numbers covered, and let's spin. And here we go. That's a 20 black, and we missed it, so we're going to add 1 more in. And when you get to 4, you double the bet. So now we're going to go from 20 to 40 and spin. And let's see what we get here. That's an 8 black, and we got it. That's a $50 win, so we're up $80 already. Let's pick 2 different corners and spin. Keep moving them around and keep making money, and here we go. That's a 22 black, and we missed that one, so let's add another corner in, and then we'll spin. We don't double until we get to 4, so right now we're at 3. That's 12 numbers. Let's see if we can get a win, and that's a 16 red. And we did. That's fantastic. So we're up $100 already, and let's keep it rolling. And here we go, and let's spin again. And this is the system that when one of my friends won $75,000 on a slot at the Circa Las Vegas last year at this time, I showed a bunch of slot players how to play roulette, and this is the one they liked the best. So we spent about 4 hours playing roulette, and I showed them how to do everything while they were waiting to get paid. And that's a 21. That's a red. Let's add 1 more, and then once we add 4, we double and spin. And when you hit those massive jackpots on slots, it takes forever for them to pay because the actual casino doesn't pay those. They come out and get that's a $50 win there. They have to come out and we're up $125 now. They have to come out, the manufacturer of the slots have to come out and prove it, and it takes a long time on those big wins. But I don't usually play slots unless it's an advantage play slot game and it's primed to pay. But that's about it. And sometimes I will with my wife because she likes to play, but she plays like little 25 cents a spin slots. So that's actually a good thing. You don't need a wife out there that likes to gamble big, but unless they're good at it, right? And we're up $145. Let's go ahead and spin, and here we go. If they're good at it, that is fantastic, though. And that's a 29 black, and that's a $35 win. How about that? We're already up $180. And I don't know about you guys, but my wife, she just likes to get a good drink and have a good time and not stress about betting a lot, but she leaves that to me. Look at that. That's another win with 8 numbers. We're already up $215. And let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. I'll have to get her on one of these episodes eventually if she'll let me. That's a 10 black, and that's a loss. Let's add a 3rd corner. And here we go. And let's spin. All right. That's a 27 red. And we lost, so let's add another one. And then double. You double when you get to 4 with Moving Corners from Kentucky White. And here we go. Let's see what we get. That's a 36 red. And we lost that one. So this is the first time we're getting to 5. And when you add the 5th one in, remember, you need to add it in at 10 instead of 5 because the rest of them are already at 10. And then you double up. So let's go ahead and do that and spin. And here we go. That's a 1 red. And we missed it. So now we have to add the next one in at 20. So let's go ahead and do that. That's because the rest of them are already at 20. And then we're going to go ahead and double and spin. This gets us to a 240 total bet. And now we have 24 numbers covered. That's an 18 red. And we lost again. And if you lose with 6, all you're going to do is double the bet. So we're at 480 now. Let's go ahead and spin again. And then if we get a win, we're going to remove the one that wins. That's an 18 red. Oh my goodness, back-to-back 18s. So this is a $2,000 bankroll system. We have just over $1,300 left, so we can double one more time. But we have to get a win here. This doesn't usually happen with moving corners, but let's hope we get a win. That's a 20 black. Okay, we got a win. That's 480, but you can see we're minus 190. So what we have to do now is we have to remove that one that just won, and we have to hope that it does not repeat on that same corner. So let's go ahead and spin again here. And if we get a win here, we'll be back up again and doing really well. Hit the 20 again, or not the 20 again. We removed that one. Okay, that's a $640 win. Now we're back up $450 and we restart. And maybe it's a good thing to ask for what you ask for what might be bad for you, because you know how gambling works sometimes. Sometimes you don't always get what you ask for, and that's an 11 black there. Okay, that's a $35 win. We're up 485, and let's talk about what we just went through there. Obviously, that's not normal, but it can happen. You have to be prepared. That's why we have a $2,000 bankroll. That's an 8 black, and then when you need to know that when you get to 5, if you win, you restart immediately. And let's go ahead and spin again here. But if you get to 6, unless you want to take a big hit, if you're up a lot, you can just get a win at 6 and reset and take a backward step. If you want to be safe about it, that's a good thing to do. If you're up a lot, we're going to double. But if you're not up, I think it's a good idea to remove the one that just hit and go back to 5, and then that'll get you back in profit if you get the win. But it is a risk. So most of the time you don't get to that many that often, but we're back at 5 already right here. Well, let's double that up and spin. Remember, when you add the 5th one in, you add it in at 10. When you add the 6th one in, you add it at 20. And that's a 1 red there. And we missed it again. So now we're already back there. And we have to add the 6th one in at 20. And then and let's go ahead and put that 20 in with the $10 so they look the same. Just like that. And then we're going to double up and spin. So again, when you win on 6, the first thing you want to do is see, well, where I'm at with my profit. And is it worth it to go an extra step? And we lost again. So we have to double up again. And I'm telling you, this doesn't happen this often. We're just getting some bad spins, but it's good for you to see how to recover with this. And that's a 21 red. Okay, that's a $240 win. And you see, we're up $320 still. So what I would recommend is, if you win with 6 and you're up $320, I would recommend restarting. If you're way down at this point, I would remove the one that just hit like we did before. And but I think it's smarter to just build it back up again. If that's the way to do it. If you're up a ton, you don't want to risk. If you're already up, you already know you could cash out and have a good day. Don't risk that dropping back to 5 with a large bet. But that's a decision everybody has to make on their own and decide what how much risk that you want to take when you play. And that's why it's so important to practice, because when you practice, it takes you through the scenarios of what you might do. And it's good to be prepared so you have a good idea of what what you're going to do in each situation. So let's add a 4th one here. And then we're going to go ahead and double and spin. And let's see if we can get a win here. And that's a 3 red. We missed again, I believe. So let's go ahead now and we'll add a fifth one in. Remember, you add the fifth one in at 10, and then you double and spin it. If you win at 5, you immediately reset. If you go to 6, you have to make a decision. And look at that. That's a 1 red again. And man, that hurt us on the last one. So we're going to double. We have to add the 6th one in now at 20. So let's do that. And actually, let's put that out there, that 20 like that, so it looks the same. And then double up and spin. And then we'll have to make that decision again if we get a win here. So let's see where that puts us. That's a 13 black. And we lost again. This is why you need that $2,000 bankroll. But I'm telling you, when you play this a lot, you will not see this happen over and over like this very often. That's a 25 red. Oh my goodness, that is crazy. Okay, so we only have about 1,500 left in the bankroll. We can only double one more time, guys. We're in trouble again here. If we don't get this, we're going to lose our bankroll, I think, but I hope we get it. We have a good coverage, and that's an 18 red. Okay, that's a $480 win. So now you can see we're down. So now might be the time where you say, hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and remove that one that we just won with, and let's try to get back in profit. Or if you're okay with building it back up, that's fine. But let's try to get one more win here, and let's get ourselves back on top. And it is a risk, though. You have to be prepared to take the risk, and that's an 11 black. And we got it. So that's a $640 win. Now we're back up $555. And if you don't want to take that big of a risk, you can actually cut those bets in half once you bring it back to 5. But man, we're back up $555 now. Let's go ahead and go back to where we started and add 2 corners and then spin. And here we go. And then the more you get up, the safer you can play. So, if you get up a lot, like we're up right now, and you get a win at 6, go ahead and restart right away and take a little bit of a hit, and it's not a big deal. You'll build it back up. So let's go ahead and spin again here with 3 corners. And again, you can put them wherever you want. And here we go. That's a 15 black. We lost again. We're going to go to 4. And you can see, like at the very beginning, we were winning everything. And then we went through a big drought where we, started losing every spin. So you want to cash out when you're up a good amount with any system, even though this is a really good one. And we're up $580 with any system, just like Sonny always says, who works in Las Vegas downtown and has been in the casino industry for many years. When you're up, declare victory and cash out. There we go. We got another win with 8 numbers. Now we're up $615. And let's go ahead and spin. And but remember to never risk money that you can't afford to lose. I always bring a good amount, but I make sure that it's separate from the money that I use to pay the bills and stuff like that, just in case something would happen. But I've been doing really well lately, and it's nice. Once you get up a certain amount, where if you have a bad loss, you're still up for the month, it's a good thing. And we're up $635. And here we go. Let's go ahead and spin. Keep moving those moving corners around, and then we'll get to that new system of the day by Todd Hoover coming up. And the Collector, that's what it's called, and I think you're going to really enjoy that. Let's add the 3rd one in here and spin and see what we get. And that's a 1 red. Okay, we lost that one. Let's go ahead and add a 4th one in and a double. Okay, we'll go to 40 now. And here we go. And a 00. So now we're going to go back to 5. Remember, you add the 5th one in at 10, the 6th one in at 20. So we'll do that and double and spin. And let's hope we can stay away from that first column there. And that's a 17 black. So that's a good win. And now we're back up $650. And here we go. Let's actually, let's do a couple like this and spin. We're up $650. We got about a minute left with this one, and then we'll get to that new system of the day. That's an 11 black. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. That's a 9 red. Okay, we lost that one, so we'll add a 4th one in and then double. Let's go ahead and do that. Now we're at $40 total spend, and here we go. That's a 15 black. Okay, let's add the fifth one in, which comes in at $10, and then you double. And remember, if you go to the sixth one, it comes in at 20. That's because the other ones were already there previously, and that's a 12 red. That's an $80 win. We're up $665, and that's the 15 minutes with moving corners from Kentucky White. Now it's time for the new roulette system of the day from Todd Hoover. I can't wait to share that with you. Let's jump right in and get started. Here we go. All right, the time is finally here for the collector roulette system by Todd Hoover. I can't wait to share with you how this works. And we're going to be looking at dozens and columns with this system. And we're going to try to find one that hasn't hit in a little while to start. So we'll start with first 12 for $10. And let's go ahead and spin. And we're going to do this up to 5 losses without increasing the bet. But we won the first one, so we don't need to worry about that. So we're already up $20. And let's pick third 12 now for 10 and spin. And again, if you lose, you don't increase the bet until after you've had 5 losses. That is a 15 black. Okay, so we've had 1 loss. We're just going to repeat that bet and spin and keep track of our losses. We'll see if we get loss number 2 right here. And we did. That's a 24 black. Okay, so we'll go ahead and try again here and see if we get a third loss or if we get a win. Here we go. That's a 25 red, and we got the win. Fantastic. So we're still up $20, but you're going to make a lot in the collector series part of this, which is phase 2, and I'll get to that here shortly. So let's go ahead, and it looks like first 12 would be the dozen, but let's look at the columns, the 25, the 24. Let's see. Second column hasn't hit in a little while. Let's go ahead and do second column on this one for $10 and spin. Here we go. That's a 4 black. Okay, and we lost, so we just rebet and spin. We do this up to 5. And here we go. All right, that's a 35 black. Oh, we got the win. Great. So now we're up $30, and we'll get to that collector area in phase 2. Don't worry, we'll have 5 losses before too long. Let's go back to second 12 for $10. And then once we get there, that's going to be the real cool part of this that I think you're going to like. That's a 24 black. But in the meantime, we'll enjoy some wins as well. We're up $50. And let's look at the columns because the last 3 have the first, second, and third 12 covered. So we have the 24, the 35, and the 4. So really at this point, we could pick anything that we want. Let's go ahead and go first 12 for 10. There's not really anything that's been a while since it's hit out of the columns or the dozens. And we got lucky. That's a 6 black. So we'll take the win there. And we're up $70. So let's look again here at the columns. We have 6, 24, and then we have 35. So let's go first column for $10. And again, we stay at $10 bet until you lose 5 in a row, and then I'll share with you what to do next. That's the real secret of this system, but we'll take these early wins if we can get them. We're up $90, and let's go ahead and pick second 12 for 10 this time. And spin, and here we go. That's a 3 red, so we start counting our losses again. That's 1. All right, let's rebet and spin, and here we go. Okay, that's a 33 black, so that's 2 losses. Okay, let's see if we get 3. So we keep the bet at $10 for 5 tries. And here's our third attempt, and that's a 19 red. Okay, but don't worry, we'll have 5 losses in a row on a single dozen before long. We're up 90, and then I'll share with you the real secret of this. And let's look at columns this time. We have 19, we have 33, and then we have 3. So let's go second column and spin. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can get a 17 or 20. That's a 27 red, and that's a loss. So we start counting our losses again. That's 1 loss, and we'll see if we get 2 right here. And I think you're going to really enjoy the genius aspect of the recovery in the collector phase 2 of part of this. And Let's go for our third attempt here. And remember, you only have 5. That's a 30 red. Okay, there's 3. So if we lose this, this will be 4 losses. We only go up to 5. And here we go. That's a 15 black. Okay, that's 4 losses. Let's see if we get our 5th. If we get our 5th, we go into the collector phase. Okay, that's an 8 black. But we got the win. Okay, so that took us down to $70 profit. But since we did not lose 5, we just get back to the process. And but we'll get there soon. Don't worry. 8, 15, and 30. Let's see. Let's do first column 4, 10, and spin. And here we go. But a column or a dozen loses, 5 times in a row very often. So we'll get to that phase 2, and that's, again, the real secret. So make sure you stick around for the whole thing, and you're going to love this. And here we go. That's a 13 black. Okay, but in the meantime, we'll take some wins. We're up 80. Let's go ahead, and it looks like we need to go third 12 for 10. It's been a little while since that has hit. So here we go. Okay, we got it. 36 red. Okay, so we're back up $100, and we haven't even really got to the collector phase, which can really make you some money. Let's see. So 36, 13, and 8. Let's go ahead. 13 and 8. Actually, everything's hit pretty recently. Let's just go first 12 for 10 and spin. Or at least the next phase gets your money back so that you are in in a good spot. But we'll cover all that as we get there. And here's our second attempt for $10. It can be really good, and that's a 23 red. Okay, so that's our third attempt. Or that was our second attempt. This will be our third attempt. And here we go. That's a 25 red. Okay, so this will be our fourth attempt. You only have up to 5. Then we'll get to the secret recovery part, phase 2. That's a 26 black. Okay, and that's 4. So if we miss this, this will be 5 misses. And then we'll have lost $50. That's a 9 red. It won't let us lose 5 in a row, will it? So now we're up 80. And but that's okay. We'll do second 12 now for 10 and spin. And here we go. You can't complain about winning, I guess. And we'll for sure get to phase 2 before the 15 minutes is up. I haven't ever gone that long without having a dozen or a column lose 5 in a row. So here we go. That's a 13 black. Okay, we got the win, and we're up 90. So let's go ahead and go third 12 now for 10. It's been a little while since that's hit. And here we go. That's a 22 black. Okay, we lost, so let's start counting our losses. That's 1. We'll see if we get it here on the second attempt. And we did not. That's 2. So again, all you have to do is count your losses. We'll see if we get a third loss here. And here we go. That's a 31 black. And we got it. Okay, so we're up $90. And let's go first 12 for 10. Been a little while since we've seen a low number. So let's go with that one. That's a 35 black. Okay, and we'll just start counting our losses again. That's 1. Okay, there's 2. Let's see if we get a third loss here on first 12. Here we go. Okay, that's 3 losses. Okay, we'll go for 4 here. And let's see what we get. Oh, and we got it, of course. That's an 8 black. We'll get there. Okay, so we're still hovering around the $80 profit. Let's go second 12 for 10. And here we go. Okay, that's 1 loss, 6 black. Okay, here's 2. And we got the win. That's a 21 red. Okay, so now we're up $90. Let's go third 12 for 10. Surely one of these is eventually going to lose 5 in a row, but we got the win immediately there. I guess that's not a bad thing. We're making more money. We're up 110, and I'll make sure to share with you the secret to this, the recovery coming up. 30, 21, and 6. Let's see. Let's go ahead and go with, then we have 8. Let's go with first column. That hasn't hit for a while. We'll try that and see what we get here. That's a 29 black. Okay. We'll go for win number, or attempt number 2 here. Excuse me. That's a 23 red. So that's 2 losses. Let's go for 3. All right, this is attempt number 3, and let's see what we get. That's a 16 red. Oh, we got it. Okay. So now we're up 110, and let's see, 16, 23, 29. Let's go third column for 10 and spin. All right, here we go. That's a 3 red. Wow, we got it on the first attempt. So the good thing is we're up $130, and we haven't even got to the recovery phase yet in phase 2. So let's go third 12 now for 10. But make sure you stick around for that. That's, again, the secret to the whole system. And we just haven't had 5 in a row losses. It's hard to believe. All right, here comes attempt number 2. Okay, that's a loss on attempt 2. So we go to attempt 3. And here we go. That's a 4 black. Okay, so now we'll go, this is our 4th attempt. Here we go. See if it hits a high number here. Of course it did. Okay, so we're still up $120. Let's go second 12 for 10 and spin. And if we do not have 5 in a row losses, I will be extremely shocked. But either way, I'm going to cover it here shortly. But we'll take these wins because it's still part of the system, and we're up $140. So that's awesome. Let's go ahead, 18, 26, and 4. I don't think there's anything that hasn't hit recently. Let's just go first 12 for 10 and spin. And here we go. That's an 18 red. Okay, that's 1 loss. We'll start counting again. This is attempt number 2 right here. 31 black. Okay, so this will be attempt 3. Excuse me. See if we lose 5 in a row here. Okay, there's attempt 3. We lost, so we'll go to attempt 4. And once we lose 5 in a row, we'll be down 50. And then that'll have a lot to do with what we do next. That's a 27 red. We've lost 4 in a row. Let's see if we can get our 5 in a row losses here. Not that we want to lose, but I want to show you the recovery system here. Okay, we lost our 5 in a row, so that's minus $50. So you take the $50, you divide it by 2, and then you round up to the next 10. That's $30. And then we go to a $30 bet on that same dozen. So you can see we're going to go ahead and spin with a $30 bet. And now each time you have to do the math in your head a little bit here. So we lost 30. We were at minus 50. So that's $80 that we're down. That's what you have to keep track of. And then you divide that by 2, which is $40. So we're going to be at a $40 bet on first 12. Okay. So we were at 80, and now you got 80 plus 40. That's 120, and you divide that by 2. So that's $60. Oops, sorry about that. $60 on first 12. Oops, I went past it there. Okay, so we're down 120 on this play, and this is a $60 bet on first 12. Okay. Okay, we lost again. Now we're down $180. So we divide that by 2, and we go to a $90 bet on first 12. Okay, so 180. So if we lose this one, we'll be down 270. But we got the win. Okay, so that was 180. And now we're back up 140 and we restart. That's a pretty slick system there. Now we go back to phase 1 and spin. So all you do is keep track of how much you're down. It's actually pretty easy because the amount that you're betting is half of what you were down. And then, and we got the nice win there. Let's go third, 12, 4, 10. It's really easy to keep track of that just because you know that the amounts you're betting, the amount that you're down is double that, and then and vice versa. So that's a nice win there. Now we're up $180. And let's look at the columns, 117 and 29. Okay, so let's go ahead and go third column for 10. And actually, this is our last spin. We're right at the 15-minute mark. That's a 10 black. And we lost that one. So after 15 minutes, we made $170 profit with the collector roulette system from Todd Hoover. That was actually pretty slick. And in the recovery, the cool thing was we went forever without hitting that dozen. And then when we finally hit it, we recovered everything. So pretty cool. Nice work, Todd. And thank you for sending that in. Thank you to everyone that's been sending the fantastic systems in lately. I really appreciate it. And that's what it's all about, is searching for the best roulette system together each and every day. And if you're enjoying doing that with me, please like, share, and subscribe. And let's keep growing this community of people that love roulette. This is the Roulette Master, and have a great day, everybody.